friends, this is week 1, activity 1 of the Big Red Barn. And this is bats in the barn. That's our activity. So now we're going to read our story, Big Red Barn. The author is Margaret Brown. She wrote the words, and the illustrator is Felicia Bond. She drew the pictures. The Big Red Barn. It's one of my favorite barnyard stories. By the big red barn in the great green field, there was a little pink pig who was learning to squeal. There was a great big horse and a very little horse. And on every barn is a weather vane, of course, a golden flying horse. There was a big pile of hay and a little pile of hay, and that is where the children play. But in this story, the children are away. Only the animals are here today. The sheep and the donkey, the geese and the goats were making funny noises down in their throats. An old scarecrow was leaning on his hoe, and a field mouse was born in a row of corn. Cock-a-doodle-doo! In the barn there was a rooster and a pigeon too, and a big white hen standing on one leg, and under the hen was one quiet egg. You see that itty bitty egg? There was a bantam rooster and a little bantam hen with a big clutch of eggs. Count them. There are 10 eggs in that little nest. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Moo, moo. There was a big brown cow and a little brown cow. There was an old black cat, meow, meow, and a tiger tomcat, yow, yow. There was a big red dog, bow, wow, with some little puppy dogs, all round and warm. And they all lived together in the big red barn. And they played all day in the grass and the hay. When the sun went down in the great green field, the big cow lowed and the little pig squealed. The horses stomped in the sweet warm hay, and the little donkey gave one last bray. The hens were sleeping on their nests. Even the roosters took a rest. The little black bats flew away out of the barn at the end of the day. There goes the bats. And there they were all night long, sound asleep in the big red barn. Only the mice were left to play, rustling and squeaking in the hay, while the moon sailed high in the dark night sky. The end. Well, our activity is called Bats in the Barn, because if you see this picture, all the little bats are flying out of the barn. So You'll notice in your notebook you have a piece of paper with numbers across the top. Has numbers across the top. Mine's just made into a folder game. And you'll have little bats. What you'll need to do is cut the bats off, or cut them apart, and then we're going to practice counting them. Let's see. Let's count how many bats I have here. 1, 2. 2. So I need to find the number 2. 1, 2. There's my 2. Let's see. I see 1 bat. So I'm going to put the 1. And here I have 1, 2, 3 bats. So that's number 1, 2, 3. I'll put my 3 there. So there's our bats, 1, 2, and 3. Some of you have 1 to 5, and some of you have 1 to 10. So I want you to just keep practicing identifying the numbers and matching the groups of objects to the correct number. I can't wait to see a picture of your worksheet when you finish it. See you next time.